Hey, I'm Birdman.
I'm Bruce.
Time to get on target at
The Hub. I was waiting. I thought you might cut in again.
I haven't cut in like a couple years.
Oh, it must be.
I used to do the whole thing originally. Remember?
And then you lost.
So I was walking in the store and it was like a show from like a bazillion, like at least 3 years ago. I was like, holy crap, where'd that come from?
Yeah, I just wanted to hold off and see if you said anything. But still,
So you remember that Bursa 380 we did?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a guy that commented. He really loved that review. Was really appreciative of it. And,
Really?
yeah, he likes that gun a lot. So
there's nothing wrong with that gun.
yeah, and there was like a couple other people that had commented about different reviews too. So
Well,
thanks
great.
for those.
We would appreciate that. We're going to keep going, and like again, our reviews are just a little bit different. We take for granted that people can read a lot about specs and stuff on the manufacturer's pages.
Yeah.
And we're looking at more of how the benefits work for average people. So today, probably get some hate mail on this a little bit with the laser thing, but we'll go over this.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything with the laser before, but this is the point of a used gun, but it has to do with the Ruger SR 1911. So let's take a quick look.
So first, we'll take a look at the gun, and then why don't we just go ahead and jump into
the two shoots.
the shooting.
Okay, you ready? Okay, so here's
the interruption there to the second time.
Let's see how we address it. First, we'll address the gun.
So let's do this first of all. We'll address the gun and everything, and I'll show the video later of what happened with that.
The bullet and stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let's just, address the gun. Now, this gun has a Crimson Trace laser grip on it. This is one of the first times I think I've ever shot a laser. I know there's a lot of people that think they're really neat and stuff like that, and I'd have to admit, I have no experience with it, and so, and I'm not the best person for something like this, but I wanted to try it to see how it was for myself.
Right.
And what I found, the first time we shot the first 6 of the first magazine without the laser, it shot really nice. There's no problem with it. Then when I went to the laser, I seemed to have, it slowed me down a little bit, and because I was waiting, the laser was running all over the place because the recoil on the 45, especially these lead-free.
And then something else happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we had the jam, okay,
Yeah,
which was actually a bullet, and I think a cartridge. Excuse me. There's a picture of it right here. We could probably look at.
Put this up here.
There's half of it inside the casing.
So we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Let me do this.
And
So that's the casing.
Yep.
It's with the half of the bullet still in it. There's the other half. So as it moved up, you think it just snapped the end?
Yeah,
off?
because there's no marks on the primer in the back.
Yeah, and I want to show we did something just to make sure that it was safe. We checked to make sure that there wasn't a squib in the barrel, and show that.
But we weren't sure if there's another one or not, because on that target.
We'll show that real quick. Clear.
It should be in there. Watch.
Okay, now on that.
Now
target,
on that target, you'll notice, and there's two holes towards the bottom of it. One of them is a perfectly round hole, and the other one's kind of a torn hole. That's another cartridge that came apart, another bullet that broke off at the base.
Yeah.
And now I'm not going to blame the gun for that. There's been a couple of these. This is a different kind of lead-free ammo we're using right now,
Right.
and that's actually supposed to be some kind of a. It looks like a plating or something, but it's pretty thin, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
And it's a pretty hot load, actually. So I think what happened when it ran, it never got into the chamber.
I think it broke it like in the actual
It was on
physically moving.
trying to come up, and it broke, and
So it broke on the ramp.
yeah, broke on the ramp because there's nothing. It didn't go all the way in. So we're not going to count the gun for that. That's that ammo for sure. But getting back to the laser part of it, and I wrote on there the value of the laser, and when we go through these schedules, our ratings today. I think it depends on. There's a lot of training involved. Now I did a little bit of reading, and I found a lot of different opinions, and they actually lump these into different sections. They'll lump it into a red dot versus a laser.
Right.
This was actually a laser grip, not a red dot. So.
Okay.
And then there's a hybrid between the two. And then there's iron sights. Unless you're shooting at distance, which we normally wouldn't be in a handgun, close to 50 yards.
Right.
There was a slight advantage to the laser at long distances, 35 to 50 yards. But then of course you have time shots, you're taking your time. But at close range, it's actually a negative. And I think what it does, it slows you down slightly.
It distracts your eyes, going to jump to move on any motion.
But not as bad as a red dot. The red dot was now. So then you see all these guys that shoot a competition with the
red dots.
With the red dots. They've trained, and they trained thousands of rounds. And so here we are using this, and then they have their guns are different. They don't have the recoil like we have with these guns.
Right,
so there's a lot of things at issue with it. So to be fair, I would just rate the gun, and we'll rate the laser as a value to the customer.
So I look at the laser, to me, and I look at the laser sort of like training wheels.
Yes.
And I want you to follow me on this. I really look at it as training wheels, because training wheels on a bicycle, if you know anything about bicycle and the way you learn to ride a bicycle, training wheels are actually bad.
Yeah.
So they do give you a level of confidence to keep the bike from falling over, but they don't teach you how to balance.
You need to take them off within 2 days.
Yeah, well, they don't teach you how to balance, and they actually teach you how not to balance. So once you learn to ride with training wheels, you almost have to relearn how to ride the bike, and you have some confidence. And it usually, so there's a thing called a strider that has no sprocket, has no chain, and basically the kids run around on it, and they learn balance first. Yeah. Both my kids have done that. They jump on a bike and start to ride. The second they start to ride, they go.
Yeah, all my grandkids have been doing the things with skateboards and stuff.
To me, the laser sort of gives you a false confidence, but then once you get rid of it, you then have to almost relearn how to shoot the gun through sights. And so to me, the laser is one of those, it's, if you really need that comfort of training wheels, do it. But honestly, in the long run, you're going to have to relearn again.
I think I could see a reason for it. You said you wanted to put a red dot or optic on those long slide 10 millimeters like Glock makes,
right.
Everybody makes, and then when you use that for hunting.
Right.
And so they're already set up for a red dot of some sort. And then you're not going to be shooting fast. You're not going to be shooting close. You're using for hunting, 25, 50 yards, 75-yard shots. I can see advantages of it. I don't quite see it, especially in my talent level, which is not there with a laser for sure, as we can tell.
Right.
I can't see it as an advantage at a close range. I think we need to get back to basics and learn iron sights.
Right.
And then if we need something afterwards, we'll go forward.
Cool.
And go the next step.
Okay.
But the gun was nice. Let's go back to rating the gun. SR 1911, experience level 5 to 10. We're going to give this a 9, and this is one we've never talked about the high experience level for this, and that's only because of the disassembly of a 1911.
Right.
As we all know, it's the people that have done it a number of times. It's not the easiest
They
thing.
call it a pita.
Yes.
And that's not a piece of bread.
No, it's not the easiest thing to learn. Again, it's a little longer to learn. The standard med, of course, is 10. I'm not going to count the fact that ammo broke because I've seen it break once before.
Yeah.
Shootability, of course, 10. Power factor is a 10 because now we have a 45.
Yeah.
We're going to always give that a 10 for personal defense. Ammo cost is down to 8. It's still expensive. It's still $15 for 50, but that's a lot better than $20-some for 50. So that's gotten better. This one's selling for $600, and that's with these $250 grips.
Laser grips, huh?
Now, if this was mine, just because I like the gun,
right?
These would come off
and go.
And I
sale.
put some VZ. I sell these for first $150 that came in, and I'd probably put VZs on it. That's just me, old-fashioned. Anyway, selling for value of 10. Function reliability, I gave it a 10, but I put an asterisk because I don't want to count that ammo for that.
Right.
Intuitive safe handling, of course, a 10. Carry options is an 8, only because it's heavy.
It's heavy.
And it's not necessarily an inside the waist pants.
No.
I mean, there are people that do it.
Yeah, of course there are.
As soon as we say that.
Somebody's always going to be that outlier, but you don't base things upon outliers.
Yeah. And so carry options, we're going to give it an 8 because we need to have a fairly good holster for it.
Right.
When you load this up with some 230s or something, it's got some weight to it. When this was new, it was $800. So we're giving this a 10 for a $600, and it's an all stainless gun. And that's one thing about these guns, they're going to hold their values. If you looked at some of the old Ruger single actions and stuff that used to sell for $100 to $200, they're selling for $400 a use now. So we'll give it a 10 for resale and resale value. So it gets a score of 96. And when it comes to the laser value that we wrote down, that's a question mark. It depends on if you think it's you want to pursue that.
Right.
The other thing I think that's hard for me to get used to is since the laser is lower than the barrel axis, we're looking here at that. This is a laser right here, and the barrel is up ahead of it about an inch higher. So if you look at the sights with the laser on, it's right on at about 10 or 12 feet. It's not on at 30, and it's not on at 5.
It's going to be completely different, yeah.
You won't see it.
Or you have to aim it
Readjust it
below
every
it, so you're shooting, you have to realize that wherever the laser is, you're shooting slightly above it.
It's almost the
Two
same problem you
ways to
have when you
approach
make the scopes too high on a rifle.
Right, exactly.
You can't get close enough.
Yep.
So there's another thing to think about. And for me, I think I spent a little bit of time learning the mechanics first, and then if the laser fit in your life somewhere, then that's it. But it seems like the laser produces better than the red dot.
Very good.
According to studies.
Make sure you're following the Hub on the Facebook page, also their Instagram account, and check out thehubaz.com. All the stuff going on there, and you can, the award-winning training that you can get here in Lakeside. You can sign up for that.
Yes, and they're doing very good training down in Tucson.
Down in Tucson as well.
We're very proud of our training.
Awesome. Hey, I'm Birdman.
And I'm Bruce, and be safe.
The question is, are you ready?
I think we're ready to get some more people to subscribe,
Thanks.
and we really appreciate it.
Hey, and thanks to those commenting. We appreciate that.
We have some good comments?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.